Belsidia Burst Team Build. Today we're going to build a dark team centered around Belsidia in World Flipper. Do note that this is only a sample team and is no way the best Belsidia team the game has to offer. We'll do our best to explain each unit and their skills as well as their synergies with each other. This Belsidia team focuses on burst power at the cost of HP. This team is not recommended for beginners as Belsidia is difficult to use. If built properly though, this team can plow through enemies in a heartbeat. Belsidia is a 5-star dark unit. We'll place her in the leader slot. Her leader talent increases dark units' attack power by 140% when they have 50% or less HP. Her skill opens up a portal to the nearest enemy and deals dark damage to enemies in that direction. She damages herself for 20% of her HP. Her first ability increases her attack by 30%. Her second ability increases attack by 30% when a unit's HP is at 50% or below. Her third ability increases her skill damage by 250% when her HP is at 50% or below. This ability is what makes her such a strong unit. We'll place Falchi as her sub-unit. Falchi is a 3-star dark unit. Her skill swings a sickle covered in dark aura for 10 seconds. It deals dark damage to nearby enemies. Her first ability increases attack power by 25%. It also self-damages for 10% of HP at the start of battle. This helps Belsidia reach her low HP condition. Her second ability fills the skill gauge by 100% at the start of battle in exchange for 10% of her HP. This synergizes well with Belsidia again. Her third ability only activates when she is the main unit. It increases her skill damage by 100% every time a unit is revived. The maximum is 300%. We'll put Marianne as our second main unit. She is a 4-star dark unit. Her skill shoots a beam at the enemy. It tracks the enemy so you don't need to aim. The damage scales with the numbers of combos, so fire it when the combo count is high. It also decreases dark resistance by 25% for 20 seconds. Her first ability increases dark units' attack by 12%. Her second ability increases dark units' skill damage by 20% every time Marianne uses a skill. The maximum is 60%. It is recommended to use her skill first so the other units can benefit from the skill damage boost. Her last ability only activates when she is the main unit. It fills her skill gauge by 100% when she activates her skill. One time only. We'll place Shosusu as her sub-unit. Shosusu is a 3-star lightning unit. He specializes in boosting the skills and abilities of the leader unit, in this case, Belsidia. His skill fills the leader's skill gauge by 30% and buffs attack by 120% for 15 seconds. This is quite a powerful skill and this is what makes him such a great sub-unit. His first ability increases the leader's attack power by 20%. His second ability increases the leader's attack power by 10% every time the main unit activates a skill. The maximum amount is 40%. His third ability only activates when he is the main unit. It fills the skill gauge by 100% and buffs the leader's attack power by 10% at the start of battle. Rebecca will be our last main unit. She is a 3-star dark unit. Her skill reduces the enemy's darkness resistance by 20% for 15 seconds. It also inflicts slow for 12 seconds and fills the skill gauge of the party by 15%. Her first ability increases dark units' skill damage by 20%. Her second ability increases dark units' damage against slowed enemies by 8%. Her last ability only activates when she is the main unit. It increases the attack power of a dark unit if that unit has 50% or less HP. We'll place Doracia as her sub-unit. Doracia is another 3-star dark unit. Her skill siphons 20% HP from all allies except herself in exchange for a 60 regeneration buff that lasts for 10 seconds. It also grants a light resistance buff of 30% for 20 seconds and removes all debuffs from the party. This skill has excellent synergy with Belsidia, as not only does it reduce her HP, it also grants her survivability, especially against light enemies. Her first ability increases dark units' attack by 20% while they have 50% or less HP. Her second ability recover a dark unit's HP for 10% the first time their HP goes below 20%. The ability only activates once per battle. Her third ability only activates when she is the main unit. It increases a dark unit's attack by 3% every time they receive damage. The maximum is 30%. Here is our Belsidia burst team. Belsidia is the leader of the party with Falchi her sub-unit, with Marianne and Rebecca at the front lines. Shosusu and Doracia will fill out the roster. This team focuses on bursting down the opponent and excels in short battle. It should be easy to build this team though, since it doesn't have that many 5 stars. Next, we will discuss alternate units in case you don't have these ones. In case you don't have Belsidia, you can replace her with 𝐿. 𝐿 is a 4-star dark unit. You can exchange for her using boss coins. Her leader talent increases dark units' attack power by 110% while they have 50% of less HP. This is similar to Belsidia's talent except that it has a lower percentage of attack power increase. Her skill summons cursed shadows for 60 seconds. They deal dark damage to enemies. She self-damages for 15% HP. Her first ability increases her attack power by 35% while self-damaging for 20% of max HP. Her second ability increases her attack by 50% while her HP is at 50% or below. Her third ability only activates when she is the main unit. It increases her attack power by 80% and multi-ball attack power by 60% while she has 50% or less HP. We'll place Veron, a 5-star dark unit, as 𝐿's sub-unit. His skill deals dark damage to enemies for 10 seconds. It also grants an attack buff of 100% for 12.6 seconds. Lastly, it applies a penetration buff to all units for the same amount of time. Penetration buff allows units to pass through enemies instead of bouncing off them. His first ability buffs attack by 30%. His second ability increases the attack of all units by 60% when they have the penetration buff. His third ability only activates when he is the main unit. It increases his own attack by 30% and makes him do more damage to beast, spirit, dragon, and undead type enemies by 25%. We'll place 𝐃𝐄𝐒 as our second main unit. She is a 4-star dark unit. Her skill deals dark damage to nearby enemies. Her first ability increases her own attack by 25%. Her second ability increases dark units' attack by 7% every time she activates own skill. The maximum is 35%. Her third ability only activates when she is the main unit. It fills the skill gauge of dark units by 50% at the start of battle. It also increases her skill damage by 8% every time a dark unit's skill activates. The maximum is 120%. We'll place �W𝐄𝐈𝐍𝐿 is a 4-star thunder unit. Her skill does thunder damage in front of her and grants an attack buff of 150% for 10 seconds to self at the cost of 10% of her HP. Her first ability buffs attack by 35% and deals damage to self by 20% at the start of battle. Her second ability buffs attack by 50% when HP is below 50%. �W𝐄𝐈𝐍𝐿 helps in reducing 𝐃𝐄𝐒's HP so she can benefit from 𝐿's leader skill. Her sub-unit. For our last main slot, we'll place Andy. Andy is another 4-star dark unit. His skill fires 4 spirit orbs in a cross pattern. They deal dark damage and does more the damage according to the number of coffins by 2.5% each. It also inflicts attack down debuff to the enemy by 30% for 30 seconds. His first ability increases dark units' skill damage by 15% and reduces their coffin count by 2. His second ability increases the damage done by dark units to enemies with the attack down debuff by 10%. His third ability only activates when he is the main unit. It increases the skill damage of a dark unit when they are revived by 50%. The maximum is 150%. It also heals dark units by 10% of maximum HP when they are revived. We'll place Eni as his sub-unit. Eni is a 3-star fire unit. Her skill lowers the enemy's attack by 30% for 15 seconds. It also applies a fire resistance debuff of 20% for 15 seconds and removes one buff from the enemy. It's a loaded skill, and to find this on a 3-star unit is awesome. Her first ability fills her skill gauge by 100% at the start of battle. However, she damages herself by 10% of her max HP. This is really powerful since she can immediately debuff the enemy at the start of battle. Her second ability increases the party's attack by 4% each time she activates a skill. The maximum is 20%. Her last ability only activates when she is the main unit. It fills the skill gauge of a fire unit by 12% every time the unit activates a skill. Here is our Dark Burst team with alternate units. Orm slots in for Belsidia, with Viren as her sub-unit. Korta and Andy will join her on the front lines while Minho and Eni provide support and self-damage. This team also focuses on doing massive damage at the cost of HP and is suited for short battles. Andy can provide some healing, but otherwise, this team can't handle long battles very well. Next, we'll talk about recommended weapons for this team composition. Recommended weapons. Nibelungen. 4-star dark weapon. Can be gotten from gacha. Dark units coughing count equals 1. Very useful since our units will die at LOT Fool's Bow. 5-star dark weapon. Can be gotten from boss coin exchange. Increases the attack power of dark unit by 15% and 35% when HP is 60% or less. Cursed Axe. 4-star dark weapon. Can be gotten from boss coin exchange. Increases the attack power of dark unit by 10% and 25% when HP is 60% or less. Staff of Change. 3-star non-elemental weapon. Can be gotten from gacha. Increases skill damage by 35% when unit has 80% or below HP. That's it for our Belsidia Burst team. If you found this guide useful, consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to like and share as well. It really helps us out and motivates us to make more videos for World Flipper. Watch out for more team building guides in the coming days. Have fun, and we'll see you again next time.